You feel things, not the way most people feel things. More. When something good happens really good, it doesn't just make you happy. It fills you completely, like light coming through every crack at once. And when something hurts, even something small, it sits in your chest. It follows you into sleep. You've probably been told you're too sensitive, too emotional, that you need to toughen up. Maybe you spent years trying to feel less, trying to turn the volume down on something that never had a volume button. This video is not going to tell you how to stop feeling so much. It's going to tell you why you do and what it actually means about you. There are people in this world who move through life and feel things the way most people hear music in a coffee shop. And then there are people who hear that same music and feel it land somewhere deep in their chest. Who notice the specific note that sounds like something they lost. Who walk out of that coffee shop carrying the melody for the rest of the day without knowing why. You are the second kind of person. You cried at things other kids didn't cry at. You felt the tension in a room before anyone acknowledged it. You picked up on the sadness in someone's voice even when their words said they were fine. You felt things for other people that they didn't even feel for themselves. And the world around you very gently, sometimes not so gently, told you that was a problem. Here's what nobody ever told you. What you experience has a name. Not a diagnosis. Not a disorder. Just a description of how your nervous system was built. Some people's nervous systems are simply wired to process the world at a deeper level than others. More information comes in. More detail. More texture. The emotional weight of a moment. A look. A word. A silence. Registers at a frequency most people never tune into. This isn't weakness. This is depth. And depth costs something. It costs you the ability to brush things off. The ability to watch something painful and feel nothing. The ability to have a fight with someone you love and sleep perfectly that night. You are processing everything. All of it. All the time. And that is exhausting in a way that almost nobody around you truly understands. Think about the last time someone said something to you that landed wrong. Maybe it was small. Maybe it was one sentence. Maybe it was a look, just a look, and something in you shifted, and you spent the next 3 hours turning it over, examining it from every angle, wondering what they meant, wondering what it said about you, wondering if you overreacted, wondering why. You can't just let it go. Other people let it go. You know they do. You've watched them do it. This is not you being dramatic. This is you being wired differently. Your brain doesn't process emotional information and then release it. It processes it and then keeps processing it, going deeper, finding more layers, following the feeling all the way down to whatever is underneath it. It's the same quality that makes you understand people so well. The same quality that makes you feel art and music and stories in a way others can't. The same quality that makes you the person someone calls when they're falling apart, because they know you won't just hear them, you'll actually feel it with them. It's not a flaw with an extra switch. It's the whole thing, all of it, together. But here's the part that hurts most. Because you feel so deeply, you also get hurt more deeply than the people around you ever realize. A comment that someone made casually, a friend who canceled plans, a message that took too long to get a reply, a moment when you needed someone, and they weren't quite there enough. These things land on you differently. They don't just sting, they cut, and then they stay. And because you're also perceptive enough to know how these things look from the outside, small, minor, not worth mentioning, you keep it to yourself. You absorb it. You carry it quietly. You smile and say you're fine, and then you go home and feel the full weight of it in private. And this is the loneliest part of being someone who feels too deeply. Not the feeling itself, but the gap between how much you're feeling and how much you can actually show. Most people never know how much you're carrying, because you got very good at not showing them. And then there's what happens in your body, because for people like you, emotions are not just emotional, they're physical. Anxiety doesn't just make you nervous. It sits in your chest like something heavy pressing down. Sadness doesn't just make you sad, it makes you tired, in a way sleep doesn't fix. Joy doesn't just make you happy, It makes your whole body feel like it's vibrating at a frequency the rest of the world isn't on. You feel things in your stomach before your mind catches up. You walk into a room, and your body already knows something is off before you can name why. You meet someone, and within minutes you can feel whether they are safe, not from anything they said, just from something you sensed that you couldn't explain if you tried. This is not imagination. This is information. Your body is picking up signals that most people's systems are simply not sensitive enough to register. You are not overreacting. You are receiving more data than the people around you and responding to all of it. The problem is, nobody taught you what to do with that much data. So it just lives in you, cycling, building, looking for somewhere to go. Here is something I want you to sit with for a moment. The people who feel the most are usually the people who have been hurt the most by feeling so much. Not because feeling deeply causes pain, but because a world that wasn't built for this depth has a way of making people like you feel like the problem. Too much, too intense, too sensitive, too everything. And so you learned to manage it, to contain it, to only let out what was safe and keep the rest tucked away where nobody could see it and decide it was too much for them. You built a quieter version of yourself for public use. And the real version, the one that feels everything, lives mostly alone, in private, in the space between midnight and sleep. That version has never been too much. That version has just never been in the right room. Because here is what feeling everything actually is. It is the ability to be fully present in a moment, really present, not just physically there, but actually inside the experience of it. It is the ability to understand people at a depth that most people can't reach, to love with your whole self, not a managed portion of it. To create things writing, music, conversation, connection that carry real weight because they came from somewhere real. The people who changed things, who made art that mattered, who loved people back to life, who sat with someone in their darkest moment and didn't look away, they were almost always people who felt everything. Not despite it. Because of it. Your sensitivity is not the soft version of strength. It is the kind of strength that takes the most courage to keep, because the world will spend your entire life trying to talk you out of it. So if you have spent years trying to feel less, stop. Not because feeling is easy, it isn't. Not because it doesn't cost you. It costs you more than most people will ever know. But because the alternative, becoming someone who feels less, who processes less, who moves through the world on the surface like everyone else, that person would not be you. And the world already has enough people who feel less. What it doesn't have enough of are people who feel everything and choose to stay open anyway, who get hurt and don't close, who feel too much and keep going, who carry more than their share of the world's weight and somehow quietly, stubbornly keep showing up. That is rare. That is you. And somewhere in a room you haven't walked into yet, there are people waiting for exactly the kind of person you are. Not a quieter version. Not a managed version. You. If this video felt like someone finally understood you, then subscribe. There's more coming. And if this video found someone who needs it, then share it with them.